Hi, it's Stephen Seiler here. On the 18th of July, I'm really looking forward to presenting my 3-hour live stream hosted by the Physical Performance Show, Sustainable Training for Attainable Endurance Goals. Get your tickets today, and I will see you online.
We are thrilled to be hosting acclaimed sports scientist Dr. Stephen Seiler, forefather of polarized training, on an upcoming 3-hour live stream event in July. Dr. Seiler, during this live stream, will cover 4 key areas around sustainable training for attainable endurance goals: intensity distribution for long-term performance development, interval training, periodization and peaking, training monitoring to support the process, and Q&A time. To register for this live stream, jump over to pogophysio.com.au/Dr. Seiler, and from just $49, you can learn from one of the world's most preeminent sports scientists around all things endurance training. The ticketed price includes post-live stream recording, a workbook, and of course, live Q&A time with Dr. Seiler himself.
Failure is not an option.
I've had my ups and my downs.
I think it's an absolutely breakthrough experience.
Welcome to the Physical Performance Show, the show designed to inspire the pursuit of your physical best performance. I'm your host, Brad Beer. Listen in as we delve into how the world's top physical performers achieve their success, as well as the highs, the lows, and the journey of getting there. Let's get ready, set, let's go.
Abdirahman now concedes second spot to Jacob Riley. Leonard Carrera's giving it all he's got in these closing stages. Galen Rupp is saying, come on guys, I'm waiting for you. Who am I going to get on the plane to Tokyo with? Riley is going, and so is 43-year-old Abdirahman.
And that 43-year-old is today's featured performer, Abdirahman, 5 times US Olympian. Welcome to the Physical Performance Show, brought to you by Run2PB and Pogo Physio. I'm Brad Beer, sports physiotherapist and exercise scientist by trade and training, and founder of Pogo Physio. Each week, we'll bring you the latest and greatest information and inspiration designed to help you perform at your physical best. We do this across a range of different episodes: expert editions, featured performers, interest editions, and coaches' corners. And today you are in for a real treat as we feature the highs, the lows, and the learnings from Abdirahman's incredible running career to date. Abdirahman's running bio is quite remarkable. After moving to the USA at age 12 from Somalia, Abdi went on, as you'll hear today, to discover his running talent after impressing a US coach following what was Abdi's longest run in a pair of jeans. Following a Nike sponsorship, Abdi's career soared. It has spanned 4 Olympic Games, and in February 2020, Abdi, at 43 years of age, became the US's oldest, most mature Olympian, where he snagged 3rd place just behind episode 209 featured performer Jake Riley at the US Marathon Olympic Trials. Abdi boasts some impressive PBs: 2:08.56 in the marathon, 60:29 in the half marathon, just behind Haile Gebrselassie, as you'll hear Abdi reference today, 28:11 for 10K, 13:13 for 5,000 metres. Abdi took out 3rd place in the 2019 New York City Marathon, and you will enjoy learnings today from Abdi around the power of staying relaxed, not letting age define your performance or your perspective, longevity tips, earning respect, training with the great Mo Farah, tapering tips, and keeping things simple. I had the pleasure of meeting Abdi at altitude in Ethiopia earlier in the year, in February, just ahead of the US Marathon Olympic Trials. And I shared the story on social, and you'll hear it in today's conversation, whereby Zane Robertson, former guest of the show who I was assisting in Ethiopia, leant into a car to say goodbye to Abdi as he was about to head out to the US, and Abdi declared, "You will see me in Tokyo 2020. Something I won't quickly forget. In watching the US Olympic Marathon Trials, no surprises, there is Abdi qualifying in 3rd position just behind Jake Riley and Galen Rupp. This is a fantastic conversation. You'll hear Abdi's relaxed style, which you can't help but feel has added so positively to his career longevity and success. We encountered a few Wi-Fi dropouts at times, recording in what would have been likely peak US internet usage through COVID, but you're in for a real treat. Here is my conversation with 5 times US Olympian Abdi Abdirahman. Abdi Abdirahman, or Abdi Runs, as you're phrased on Instagram. Welcome to the Physical Performance Show.
Oh, thank you, man.
It's been a big year, Abdi. It's been a big career to date. There's still chapters being written. But in terms of this year, 2020, if we start with contemporary events, I fleetingly met you in Ethiopia just before you flew back to the US to prepare for the finishing touches on your preparation for the 2020 US Olympic marathon trials, of which at 43 years of age on the day, you ran a stellar race, coming in third, very closely behind Jake Riley, to secure your 5th US Olympic team berth. And then obviously that was quickly followed by where we find ourselves in the coronavirus era. How are you managing? How are you First of all, congratulations. And secondly, psychologically, how do you go from the high of that to the reality of the problem of coronavirus?
Oh, man. Well, thanks for having me. First and foremost, just as you say, it's been amazing build up. And just like and also was amazing career. There's no words that can explain the highs, the lows that we've been through I wouldn't say as a person, I say as a whole world, just because I remember just making the Olympic team and the whole world getting ready for the Olympics in 2020. In Tokyo, Japan. There's so many athletes around the world who were training for the moment to shine, and that's just and there's some athletes who have a job, who are like a professional or something else, but that's the highlight of their life, or that's the pinnacle of any athlete, where you just, the reward of just getting there is the best thing, or representing your country is beyond any athlete, It was the hardest thing to deal with, but at the end of the day, it was easiest one too, because it was something that hit us who was bigger than us as an athlete, as a nation. It was something that affected the whole world, and something that everything else have to take the backseat so we can all survive, or just a fight, just to be so everyone can be well. This is the virus that didn't have any color, religion, and this a background. Doesn't matter if you're wealth or rich, poor. It was affecting everybody. And it was just, just something that we have to deal with. And I know I was disappointed the Olympics being canceled, but at the end of the day, I'm not only the one, but we're going to get through this.
Yeah, so very wise perspective, Abdi. And, you can't help but think your other 4 Olympic outings, having had the calf injury in 2016 and not going through there to Rio, has helped you with your perspective.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just for me as an athlete, just there's so many things you can control as an athlete, and there's something that you cannot control. The one thing you can control as an athlete, you can control the workout you do, how you prepare yourself, just the routine. And something that you cannot prevent is the injury. For me, missing the Rio Olympics as an athlete was real disappointed. And you know what, who would have known if I would have made the Rio Olympics, if I would have been here today in my 5th Olympics, I probably would have said, okay, I already made 5 Olympics, so I'm just, let me find something else. But I still have that, because I knew what I have in 2016. I thought I should have made that team, and coming back the same year, finishing third in New York City Marathon, just to give me another extra motivation. And I said, you know what, I can still compete with these guys. I'm one of the best in the world. Finished third at the World Major Marathon at the age of 39. 2 more years, I could be able to make it easily. So not easily, but I thought I have a chance of, I'm not going to take lightly for any athlete, And I said, you know what, my chance is as good as any athlete. That's just the way I looked at it.
And it seems that 39 years of age might be a bit of a magic number for world major marathons. That was the age that Meb Klavetsky was when he won Boston that year.
Yeah, maybe, definitely. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of the things that, you inspire people with, Abdi, yourself, runners like Bernard Lagat, just the longevity and the fact that, the number doesn't have to define your performance, and it certainly doesn't have to define your perspective.
And I think that's true. At the end of the day, numbers are number. Just you cannot lie. You cannot lie about the numbers. You are what you are. You can be 43 years old or you can be 23 years old. Doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, if you believe in yourself and believe in what you do, and you take care of your body and do the right thing and prepare yourself well, when you get to a certain age, sometimes you have that like the old age creeping in your mind. And that's it. That's all about you to control it. Just no one else can control it for you. And all that the person just can put that creeping in fuel, because when they tell you you're old, when they just, when the media writes something about you, if you believe what they write about you and you are what you are, at the end of the day, you cannot lie. You are 43 years old, but at the end of the day, how do you believe yourself? How do you work hard? How do you block those mental blocks of other people putting in front of you? And that's the one thing. And that's something I've been good at. When people tell me I'm old, I can't do things, I say, you know what? It's my job to prove them wrong.
Yeah,
I'm going to show that I can still do it, and I still got it.
And it makes me think of your, US colleague, running compatriot there, Bernard Lagat, who said on this show he just doesn't use his chronological age as a rationalizer for how he's performing or how he's feeling on a given day. He just will not go there.
That's exactly. There's no magic word to it. It is, at the end of the day, you are what you are. If you believe yourself, you're old man, you're 43 years old, and you think you can't do it anymore, you already give up. That's the half of the battle.
Powerful. Abdi, although it seems that some of your Ethiopian-based training mates for your annual pilgrimage to Ethiopia to train at altitude, they do give you a bit of a ribbon that you walk very slow.
Yeah, but that's me though. I've been walking like that all my life, and it's just a fun though. I love it. Those guys make fun of me, but at the end of the day, they make fun of me how I work, what I do. Just say, why should I have to work fast, and I run for a living. That's only one time I can be this low as I want to be. I just want to relax. Come on, guys. They need to give me a break sometimes, those guys.
I mean, you're in good company when you're out there in Ethiopia with a stellar cast. But I can't help but from the outside looking in think that it's that relaxed. It's that approach to be disciplined with your mind, that approach to do the work, control your workout, like you said, prepare the best you can, that's held you in good stead. But then your ability to relax and just, go about your day in between the workouts you need to do in a relaxed manner. I can't help but think that's added some great longevity to your career to date. And the fun.
Yeah. Just at the end of the day, just like fun, you have to enjoy what you do. At the end of the day, it's a work. I'm a professional distance runner at the end of the day, but you have to have a passion for it. It can't be just like thinking about it. No, it's a workout today, this. You just like relax the body, performs better.
Relax it.
You don't have to worry about it. Just like you don't have to stress about the workout, the long run. It just at the end of the day, and just surround yourself people who love what they do. Same thing that you do. Like for me, I just had a bunch of great of guys who love to run, and all we did was just, run, train hard. At the end of the day, we help each other. But when we come home, we play games, we have fun, we cook together. And we never talk about running. We just make fun of each other. Always someone's getting picked on, and we love everything. It's just a comedy. I feel like for me, instead of work, I was little mini vacation with a bunch of my friends.
That's brilliant. And Abdi, you've been appointed the group's comedian, so you certainly know how to keep people laughing.
I might be the comedian, but the funniest guy I think have to be. We have two great guys, Bashir, Abdi, and Mo Farah, and both of them, a lot of people don't know, but Mo is just a comedy. He's the guy who gives people nicknames all the time, just like we make fun of each other, how everyone works, how they run. It's just funny. And I know Mo, he make fun of me how I walk all the time. Just like you can see, like you've been to Saluta. Sometimes you see someone walking far away and making fun of Abdi. Say, who's that? Guess who's that walking? They say, oh, that's Abdi.
There is a certain tempo though of walking in Saluta, and it isn't one of the New York streets of harriedness, is there? It's quite relaxed.
Yeah, it's quite relaxed. Everybody just, life is simple in Saluta. You've been there. You just wake up in the morning. You're gonna go to the market, go what you need. You go buy what you need to eat that day, and your day's set. It's like your whole life is set basically, because they don't have to worry about what tomorrow holds. They just worry about today. That's it.
Yeah. And there's great beauty in that. And on your training in Ethiopia, Abdi, we'll go back to your origins in a moment, but it was Mo Farah that did, I believe, convince you to head to Ethiopia, to altitude there, 9,000 feet, and train. But that only happened 5-6 maybe years ago. Is that correct?
Yeah, it happened, I think 4 years ago, 2016, and it's 2020. Me and Mo have been friends since, I think I would say 98. I think 90. 98, 99. We've been friends since he was 16 years old, and we've known each other. I have seen him grow from literal, just a schoolboy to to a good career in professional, to to Olympic gold medals. I have seen that, and he has not changed any. He's just the same guy we knew. And I remember he always used to tell me, say, hey, let's go train in Africa. And for me, most of part of my career, I have trained in the US because of flag staff, and just in the summertime, I spent in flag staff. Winter, I was staying in Tucson. 2016, I took his advice and I went to Ethiopia with him. I trained there for a few months, and since then I never looked back. I go up there every winter, and it's an amazing place to train, and and the result speaks for itself.
With the main benefit being that I can see obviously the gains from altitude, but also the great environment around you.
Exactly. Yeah. I had the altitude before, but I never had the group that I have in Ethiopia now. You have seen it in the satellite when you were in Ethiopia. You'll wake up in the morning, you'll go to the satellite, you will never see anyone running alone. You see group of 10, 20, 30, just a group of people, and that's what makes the sport so great. And I wish a lot of the European and my American colleagues will realize, just group atmosphere makes athlete better.
Group atmosphere makes an athlete better.
Exactly, yeah. Because if you look at the history of Kenyans, you look at a Kenyan, you look at Ethiopians, they are great athletes, but what makes them better? Those guys, they train a group of hundreds. And we always get their best athletes when they come to competition. What makes them so great? We get their best athletes. They train 100, we get their best 10 athletes. We don't get all 100, but we get their best 10 athletes, and they perform damn well, even though some of them are, I wouldn't say this for all that, but even though some of them are, just taking the shortcut.
There's still that talented, hey?
Yeah, exactly. There's still talent. Yeah, definitely.
On your relationship with Mo for a moment there, Abdi, I read a great story, an article written by Podium Runner, in which they recounted that you were on the start line of the 2000 World Cross Country Championships. Someone approached you and said that there was another Somalian-born runner, and you were quite excited. You yelled, "Where?" And that happened to be Mo Farah, who all these years later is a dear friend and training partner.
Oh, definitely, yeah. That was in Portugal, Lisbon, Portugal. I think was my first World Championship as a U.S. citizen. We were running Lisbon, Portugal. He was running the World Junior Cross Country. I was running my first senior team in 2000. So yeah, someone told me, and I went to go look for him. I found him, and that's how our friendship started. There, since that day, we never stopped talking. We always talk a couple times a week. Just keep in touch, motivate each other
the whole way through, and right through to spending. Because when you're in Ethiopia, you'll do. You said you spend your winter there. How many weeks or months would you normally spend in Ethiopia?
In Ethiopia, I used to spend at least like the least I spent is 2 months. I spent like anywhere from 3 months, almost 3.5 months, 3 months.
And then head back to the US, either Flagstaff or Tucson.
Yeah, I usually go to Flagstaff.
And on the US, Abdi, you are Somalian born, 1977, and then I believe at about 12 years of age, your family went to the US. At what point did running become part of your world? Like, one, did you recognize it as something you wanted to do? And two, did you realize that you were really gifted?
To be honest, like first and foremost, that's a great question. And running come to me, I think it's just something I fell into it, to be honest, running, because like I remember 1994, I was, I just graduated from high school. I was in junior college, and there's a lot of guys who were my friend. They were all athletes, and they all do different sports. And every afternoon, 3 p.m., we would be at the cafeteria, just talking, chit-chatting. Every day around 3:30, everyone leaves. They go to practice, just because that's when the practice starts at 4 o'clock. Some of them play soccer, basketball, cross country runners, track. So everybody will go to practice, and I will only be the guy who left in the cafeteria, didn't do any sports. So for my option was just to go home, because my friends won't be done practice until 7 o'clock, or sometimes 6:30 to 7 o'clock. So I was doing that for a couple of weeks, and I have decided to say, all your friends were doing sports, why don't you do something? The same week, they have the University of Arizona, which was just across the street from my junior college. They were having a track meet, and a lot of the junior college from the state of Arizona came on. There was a gym click shootout. So there's one guy who was from Central Arizona. Thanks to him, he was wearing glasses. He was dead last, everybody was slapping him. And I just saw that. I said, if that guy can run and everybody's ahead of him, I can run too. But at least I knew one thing, I won't be dead last. At least I will be one person. And next day, I just went to the Pima College track coach, and I told him I want to join and it was the cross country season. I said, I want to join the cross country. And he asked me, do you run in high school? And I said, never run in my life. And he said, oh, okay, just what? Today the guys have a 5-mile run. Why don't you go join the team and see what you can do? If you can finish the 5-mile run, then you're on the team. I remember I was wearing a pair of jeans, and he said, go run. And I just started running. Did I finish last? No, I finished second. There's another guy, my friend John, last to this day. He beat me to the line. He outsprinted me because I stick with him all the way until the 100 meters to go. And then he sprint, and the coach looked at me and said, are you kidding? You never run before? And I said, no, it's my first day. And he said, you have something special. Even through that time, I never realized what did I have, how special running was. I just ran cross country, and I was second at the NCAA, I think NJCAA that year. The University of Arizona coach just offered me full ride scholarship. I only spent Pima for 1 year, and I transferred to the U of A, where I become multi-All-American. Even through that point, I didn't know what the professional running was. And I remember I got offered from Nike, and I said, what are you guys going to pay me this? That was the beginning of my career, man.
Wow.
Here I am.
Wow.
Here I am 20 years later, still running.
Isn't that a brilliant story? I mean, what I like about that is on day one, you were noted as something special, your talent, coming second untrained in G. Yeah. And then right through until Nike offered you what's been a career-long partnership that I can see your first contract. Yeah. It's when the penny dropped that you could make a living and a profession out of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Abdi, over their career, which is still being written, the book's not closed. There's still chapters that are being outputted. But over the career, what would you rate as your career highlight? I mean, there's so many. But, is there one performance, one race in particular that's near and dear to you?
To be honest, like one race that I would say, before I used to say was my race against Haile Gebrselassie in 2017 in New York City half marathon, where I finished second, and I have run 60 and I pushed the pace. That was the highlight of my career. But everything changed after February 29th, 2020. Because I remember I was coming into the trials 42 years old. A lot of people wrote me out. So many people, even some people who knew me, who I was, what I was capable of. They say, you know what, Abdi, past his prime. Just even some friends that I had in flying staff, just like some younger athlete guys, they come and they say just like they would never worry about me because I was not even their radar because they knew I wasn't going to finish. So for them, it's just like I said, they would worry other people, and that was just the proudest moment of my life was making the Olympic team, even though I knew that I was capable of, and there was nothing guaranteed. To be honest, for me, the way I look at the sports is just respect is earned, it's not a given. Respect
is earned, it's not a given. And that day you earned a lot of respect.
For me, I earn people I like to earn people's respect. I thought I did enough of that, just making the 4 Olympic team. I thought they would give me, but they still did not. But you know what? But I still went out and getting more respect from them. Just for me, that was just like, and I just like, and that was going through their mind, but for me, I knew I was capable of. I knew I was capable of. I'll never say I knew I was going to make it. I was just like, at the end of the day, as an athlete, you psych yourself. You say, if someone asks you a question, say, hey, how are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are your goals? I don't want to give you the answer of say, hey, I'm going to try. I'm going to just go there. No, you want to psych yourself up. You want to just get that motivation. Say, I'm going to make the team. Just it. That's my goals. Even though you go back to your room, you say, oh, man. And you have that butterfly, just like a night before the race. You say, oh, man, I know I'm going to make this team. But, even though you prepare, you did everything, and you give interview, and you go to make the team. But it's always that thought of back of your head. And I think that's a good thing. That's something like more. And if you don't have that feeling, for me, if you don't have that fear in the back of your head, how you're going to perform, if you're not thinking about it, if you just relax and just say, oh, I'm going to make it, and that's it, nothing else comes, that means you don't care. And you can just go to the starting lineup, the game goes off, you get tired, you have no plan, just fall off.
That fear is almost sounds like a necessary requirement for best performance. It's the confidence in what you've prepared, but it's that fear, that unknown.
Exactly, yeah.
I won't easily forget is in Ethiopia, you were rolling out of Saluta in the street where Zane Robertson is living, and you were a couple of houses up.
Yeah.
We happened to pass you as you were leaving, and Zane leant into the window, and you guys were exchanging a conversation. I actually grabbed a bit of video. I thought this is quite fun. And I posted it just yesterday on Instagram, and it was Zane said to you, or you said to Zane, I'll see you in Tokyo, man. And Zane said, yeah, I'll see you in Tokyo. And I just thought, and Zane had been, mentioning the whole week that, he thought you were good for the team. He goes, Abdi will be in that team. And then you said that, and I was like, I knew it wasn't from a position of arrogance. It was just a position of confidence. And I thought, oh, wow. So I sat back in Australia, watched the trials, and I thought, well, we have to factor Abdi in here. And there you were, 5th Olympic Games team.
Yeah, man, that's the one thing. That's the one thing a lot of athletes are lacking. Self-belief is there, but you have to put your mind, even though you have that fear. And that fear is a good thing, that nervousness, worry. Sometimes athletes, you're so nervous, you don't want to give the wrong answer. You want to give it the right answer. You say, yes, I'm here to make the team. But at the end of the day, the thing that was talking wasn't me being arrogant. It was my training talking, just that what I have done, what I have been through for the past 3 months. Yeah. If I didn't give you that answer, I should not be in Salute. I should not be leaving my family, but my loved ones, just being in Salute, just like, training. No, living in Salute, you have to have the confidence, everything, and also knowing that everybody trained as hard as you did. Even some of them train harder than you did. But you cannot count on no one out. And give the respect to other people to, like, your competitors. Don't say like, oh, this guy's not going to make it. This guy's not a fact. You just never know what they've been through. You never train with them. You never see their build up. And that's just the one thing, just respect. And that's it. And you got to your business.
You've earned the respect from so many people, and it's a wonderful thing. Where do your genes come from, Abdi? Has there been a lineage of runners in your family?
I don't know. My family, just like, I don't know. I don't know what my family, none of my family ran. Just, I'm just like kind of, even though like like in Somalia, I don't know how to explain, like in Kenya, there's a tribe they call Kalinji. They are good runners. And in Somalia, most the people who run, they're from northern Somalia, like Hargeisa, Somaliland, West, basically Mo Farah, Mo Ahmed, Bashir Abdi, a lot of the guys from Sweden, like Hassan Mead. We are from the same region of runners and almost the same tribe. So maybe our region have that gene like the Kalin gene does. Yeah. And it's like Oromo, like in Somalia is a Sak, and in Kenya is a Kalin gene, yeah?
Well, I mean, I've read that when you go back to Somalia or even now, the running culture, from what I've read, is still not large. Some people will often joke, what are you running away from as you're out training?
That's true. I remember I went back to Somalia a couple of times. Every time I go for a morning run, all the kids who are going to school, when they see me running, they think I'm chasing them. They run away from me. And even like adults will look at me funny and they say, what's going on? There's some war going on. Are you running from something? Is something chasing you? It's not a big, it's neat.
Full of talent. And they must have been, there's got to be some children inspired by stories and, hearing of the exploits of, as you just mentioned, yourself and your countrymen, Mo and Bashir Abdi with what you've achieved in the running world.
Oh yeah. We have a lot of young guys who are like just start training the past few years. Just the guys like, and if you go to Saluta, you see the Somali running community every year. They're getting more and more and more. Just like we have almost 100 kids in Saluta. Some of them from Djibouti, some of them from Hargeisa, Somalia. The running is getting, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have some great gold medal calibritis come up from Saluta or our town because of what Mo has done, what I have done, what Bashir Abdi has done. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they just get the right guardians, and that's when we come in.
Yeah, well, let's wait and see. Abdi, low light of your career. What's been the darkest day of your career?
My darkest day was, just to be honest, I wouldn't say darkest day. It's just like, to be honest, like, darkest day of like, it's something like COVID-19 affecting the whole world. I would say that's one of the darkest days, you just never know what tomorrow holds. The past, we've been in a lockdown. Thank God in New Zealand, you guys almost safe from this COVID-19. And I think you guys are one of the countries not been affected that much. There's no many cases, but in America past few weeks, we never know what the future holds just because there's no vaccine for it. There was nothing. It just, everything you were glued to the TV, just trying to find out what's going to happen next day. And for me, to be honest, like, I had disappointing days. I have like the days the thing didn't go the way I wanted, but I never have any dark days, and thank God I didn't want to go to that path in life. So, but just dark days, I say, will be the COVID-19 affecting the whole world. I feel, and I'm one of those people actually. For me, to be honest, I'm always happy guy in life. I feel bad for other people. Like for me, there's a point I dropped out the Olympic trials a couple times, like in 2008. I didn't make the Olympics 2016. Yeah. Setup is the comeback for setup. I say, setup is the comeback for setup. Just like it is, just like I say, you know what? The thing didn't go the way I wanted today, but it will just make me more hungrier and more determined for the next time.
So look out, Tokyo 2021.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be fun, and just you never know. It might not be my last Olympics. I'm not putting the people asking me, what's your plan? And I say, my plan is to go to the Olympics. And they say, what are you going to do after the Olympics? And I say, you can ask me after the Olympics, not now. What I'm going to do after the Olympics. I haven't even done the Olympics, so why you want to ask me that question?
I won't ask you that question, Abdi. Brilliant. I like that, though. A setback is just a setup for a comeback.
Yeah.
Powerful. On the learnings, Abdi, what would you say are your top 3 tips for runners for longevity? What would be your top 3 things, Abdi?
1, 2, 3. Number one, listen to your body.
Listen to your body.
Listen to your body. Number 2, recovery. And people have to know that recovery, some people think the more you do, it's better for you. Sometimes less you do, less is better for you. Especially as an older athlete, for me, recovery is part of my training.
That's powerful. Recovery is part of your training.
Yeah. And also, like, on the other part, just make sure you have, like, for me, and I'm just talking about myself. This what worked for me. Just for me, like, a part of, like, is having like a coach, like just the one coach. Don't try and, there's no such a thing like quick fix. You don't, like, if you've been with your coach for this year and then you see your friends running fast, don't think your coach's friend will make you run fast. That's you just looking for a quick fix. Like, think about the long term. Don't look for the quick fix, look for the long term. Yeah, just as a coach, yeah.
No quick fixes. Look for the long term.
Yeah, that because nothing happened overnight in life.
Nothing happens overnight in life. So that'd be a top 3, Abdi. Listen to your body, recovery, not looking for quick fixes.
Yep, and nothing happened overnight, yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's powerful. Just on listening to your body, it's such a recurring theme of featured performers on the show and experts.
Yeah.
Practically, can you give any examples of when you've, even pre the 2020 Olympic marathon trials where you listen to your body? Any practical examples, say from Saluta, your training there where you were like, you know what, I don't have it today. I'm just going to make peace with that.
Oh yeah, there's so many days I like that, man. There's so many days I like that. But at the end of and that's when the coaches comes in, you just at the end of the day, be vocal. Don't be afraid to be vocal. Don't be afraid to tell your coach how you're feeling, because you're the one who's doing the work. If coach tell you do 8 times 1K, but you don't have it, just you tell him, say, hey coach, I'm feeling tired, can we adjust this thing? And if he's a great coach, he will listen to you. And there's so many days in Saluta where things were not going my way, or I'm not feeling well, I just have a little aching pain, and I just take the day off, or just go do my own thing instead of being with the boys. And the boys understand, the coach understand, so we're on the same page.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to communicate.
Yeah.
You're listening to 5 times US Olympian Abdi Abdirahman, sharing on his career highs, lows, and many learnings. Support for today's show comes from Run 2PB. Run 2PB offers run coaching and has quickly become a leading choice for runners who want to improve their running with a personalised and structured training program under the guidance of an expert coach. Run 2PB can help you reach a new parkrun 5K PB, break the elusive sub 3 hour marathon mark, or complete your first trail run. Run 2PB's coaching roster boasts past guests of the Physical Performance Show, Australian Olympian Madeline Heiner, Australian Marathon rep Josh Harris, along with 12 other coaches to choose from. By joining Run 2PB, you become part of a supportive and inclusive community of runners from all over the world. As a special offer to the Physical Performance Show listeners, simply use the coupon code POGO, P-O-G-O, when signing up to any Run 2PB program and receive 10% off. Visit run2pb.co to sign up today. www.run2pb.co. Support for today's show also comes from Pogo Physio. We exist very simply to help you get back to your physical best following injury. If you're a runner or an endurance athlete frustrated by being sidelined or limited due to a running-related injury, jump online and schedule your online telehealth physiotherapy consultation, 45 minutes in length with myself or any of the Pogo Physio physiotherapy team. Every week, these sessions are being conducted for runners around the states of Australia and internationally. To find out more about Pogo Physio's online telehealth consultations for runners and endurance athletes, jump over to pogophysio.com.au/telehealth. For now, let's jump back with Abdi Abdirahman on this Featured Performer episode. Questions come through as well, Abdi, from a listener around, does Abdi follow a polarized training approach in terms of intensity distribution? Like, the bulk of it's steady aerobic work, but then there's the sessions that are just on.
No, I should my training is just to be honest, our training system, just past few years, it's just been a symbol. I just, for my easy runs, we do 6-minute pace. And even in altitude at 9,000. So it's not normal, but for us it's normal. So on our long run, it's hard. very hard, like almost like a 15-second marathon pace when you're 8,000, 9,000 feet. So that's almost marathon pace in sea level, or even faster. So on the case, we just mix it up. There's nothing easy, just like, it's not that they say the apples don't fall from the trees. So at the end of the day, people always see the fine-tuned car. When we come to race, that's the easy part. We look forward to race in our group because we know that's just the easy part of the hard part is the training. The easy part is the racing.
The hard part's the training, getting the work done.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting, 6-minute pace, there's the effective altitude, of course, which I quickly realised on my first run there, or the second run. But 6-minute pace, so you're just trotting around, having a chat, having a laugh.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, exactly, man. The satellite, the wind, everything, just 6-minute pace.
And often with tracksuits, I was surprised how many runners were staying warm.
Yeah, exactly. We just, just gotta get lean at some point.
Yeah, interesting. And Abdi, tapering tips. Any tips? Top 3 tapering tips, Abdi?
Everybody's different. Everybody, like, not 3 tips are the same, to be honest. What worked for me, I usually don't taper that much. I train all the way 1 week up from the marathon, just even though the distance usually comes down 3 weeks out, it just comes down little by little by little. Yeah, there's nothing that you can do. If the last week, always Coach Gary Love said, there's nothing that you can do the last week or even last 2 weeks that will help you in the marathon day, but it can make you hurt.
Nothing you can do that will help you, but what you do can make you hurt.
Yeah.
In other words, be wise.
Yeah, be wise. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can do 20 miles, 5-minute pace. It will never do you any good, but it can make you tired. You can miss up your race, just recover it. Just to be honest, just like the second one is like eating. Don't try to like be like one of those people like 2 weeks out of the marathon. Suddenly you need to eat some food that you never get used to. Eat what you eat every day or every time like you're doing your long run leading to just don't change your diet 2 days or 3 days before the marathon, because if you train for a marathon and you did the right training, just eat the same food night before you go your long run, you eat your pasta, whatever you ate. I don't know what people, so I just tell people don't change their diet. Just
don't change.
Yeah, don't change. Yeah. Just because it gets you to this point, so it won't, if you try something new, just will mess up your upset the stomach or something. Yeah.
Third point for tapering. These are great. We've got watch what you're doing the last week because it can't make you fitter, but it can hurt you. Don't change your eating.
Third tip, no new shoes.
No new shoes. I mean, you wore the Vapor Flies, not the Alpha Flies at the 2020 trials.
But
right?
I'm different. And I walk around the hotel, just like for me, just so I wore like I could have worn the Vapor Fly, but I never wore them before, so I never did that many wrong with them. So that's why I wore the Alpha Fly normal ones. And so that's just me personally. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And
yeah.
As you said, it's individual, right?
Yeah. Maybe if I would have got those, I might would have got, I don't know. I could have. Yeah. I don't think it would make any difference, to be honest. I'm happy the way the race went. So
mission accomplished, right?
Yep. That was the whole thing. Could have been second, third, would be as good as second place, the third place. So it's only one of those races. Yeah. You could say that the third place is as good as first place.
Yeah, it's exactly. There was a job to be done, and the job was done. Abdi, before we throw into a lightning fast performance round, I get the impression that observing a runner like yourself go about your workouts, your training, you don't obsess over data. It's perhaps none of the squad really does. It's very much a structured based approach, but letting recovery be the key thing. Does data play much of a guide for your training decisions, or is it just as simple as listening to your body?
For me, I'm not a technology guy. I'm just like, all the technology I use is just a watch. That's it, just to time myself. Other than that, I don't use nothing else, to be honest. Data doesn't play any. I don't. Running is just one of those sports. You don't have to make it that you just put one foot in front of others. It's not that complicated. So unless you're a scientist and you want to worry about
listen to your body.
To worry about. Yeah.
Gosh, there's such beauty and simplicity. And Abdi, mileage is probably similar. I remember Zane Robertson sharing with me, you know what, I don't count the miles. I look at the workouts. Is that your philosophy as well?
Exactly. Just mileage is just nothing. You can, at the end of the day, everybody can run, man. At the end of people can run 100 miles, 120, 140, 150 miles. For me, I count the quality of the workout, and we don't do a lot of miles, and that's why we run so fast. Just 90 miles. 100 miles for marathon. It's not a lot, but it's the quality of the mileage. We don't do garbage mileage. I call all the other people, when you come to you go run, long run, 26, 28 miles of 6:30, 7-minute pace you run. Anyone can do that. Any recreational runner can do that. Just, I don't know what the benefit is. For me, I'd rather take quality than quantity.
And hence the long runs are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, long runs are hard.
Which is, opposite to many recreational runners that have the long run as a steady aerobic run.
Yeah, and that's why they're recreational runners and we are professionals. So at the end of the day, it's different, even though they're amazing athletes with their own standard too, to be honest. Like if you can run a marathon, you're an amazing athlete. It doesn't matter how fast you run, we're just different levels.
If you missed last week's episode of the Physical Performance Show, it was another featured performer episode featuring Australian swimming superstar Michael Klim. Michael shared around his career, highs, lows, and many learnings, and here's a little snippet of the conversation.
I would say the darkest. I'm lucky that probably I had one of my toughest lessons early on. I probably was exposed for my weaknesses early in my career, and I was able to rectify that. And that was, as I said, in Atlanta, arriving ranked number 1 in the world, winning the trials and beating Daniel Kowalski, and to get my spot and coming ranked number 1 in the world. And I thought it was going to be pretty smooth sailing, to be honest. I had a pretty good preparation, but I was very naive. I had no probably understanding of the level of pressure and the size of the Olympics, and what, even rocking up a year later, it was just a completely different scenario.
To tune into the full Michael Klim episode or any of the archived Physical Performance Show episodes, jump over to wherever it is that you enjoy the show from and absorb the highs, lows, and learn-ins. For now, let's jump back with this week's featured performer, US running star, 5 times US Olympian, Abdirahman. Abdi, are you ready for a performance round? Some rapid fire questions. Here we go.
Okay, let's do it.
Training session most disliked?
Most disliked the Ks, man.
How many are we talking?
We're talking about 12 to 15.
1K repeats?
9,000 up. Yeah, 9,000 above sea level.
And what pace might these be on?
Usually it's 245 to 250.
With what, a minute recovery?
Yeah, 2-minute jog.
2-minute jog. Training session most loved?
I think long run.
Hard long run.
Hard long run, yep.
Is it the feeling of satisfaction at the end?
No, it's just it's a war. It's not a war, but we always, I don't know, it's that. Our group is so funny. It's funny group of guys. So everybody have their own strength. My strength is the long run sometimes, and Mo is on the track, so we talk a lot of shit. Some people like to see the old guy punishing people. That's what they call it.
I missed the long run. Zane went for the track session on the Sunday, so I missed observing the antics of the long run.
Oh yeah, the long run is just everybody loves the long run because that's the day I come out.
The cactus roars. Favorite pre-race meal?
Me, I don't have any. I just eat pasta, plain carbs. I just keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Bedtime, morning time in a training block. Abdi, what do they look like?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, you go to bedtime and your wake up time. What do they look like when you're in Ethiopia in a hard training block?
I usually we all have a different bedtimes, but I'm the old guy, so I go to bed 8 o'clock and I wake up at 6.
8 to 6. Brilliant. Abdi, who's the athlete that you most admire and why?
Me, the athlete I most admire, I will have say, Mo, and he's a close friend of mine. but I'll go with Canonese, one of the nicest guys, kindest, and also generous. I would say that I think Canonese just, yeah. And I will have say no, I will have say Mo, but Mo knows how I feel about him. So he's like my little bro, so it's okay. But I would say Canonese just is amazing guy, to be honest. I had to be honest, for me, I have met so many great athletes, but Canonese just have to be up there, to be honest. One of the nicest guys, just like always smiling in his face, and the way he treats people just with respect and just opening his house. And not only him, all his family, to be honest, with his brother Tariku too, just amazing group of people. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to meet Taruku, and I was impressed with such a genuine, nice guy. You mentioned the generous side of Canonese. Is that, as you say, hospitality and just making people feel good?
Yeah, to be honest, I remember the first time I went to Ethiopia. At the end of the day, Canonese, he charges his track. Charges the track. At the end of the day, for me, and I was willing to pay for it, to be honest. Just he charged I think 100 bir. That he never charged me, and if the people come with me, he never charged. But all the people I know a lot of people, and even if he knows that some people cannot afford it, that time he say, okay, just pay it next time, or they cannot.
Yeah.
And the way I look at the sports of running, it's not a charity, it's a professional sports, just at the end of the day, but he gives back to his community, to be honest. So that's why, like some other people trying to make as much money as they can from the athletes, even though they used to be a former athletes, and trying to take advantage of the situation. I wish all of them look in life like just the way Canonese does, and we all do so.
Beautiful
because
insight.
Money only can go so far.
Nah, what an insight, Abdi. That's great. Toughest competitor you've ever raced against? Who would that be and why?
Oh man, I've raced a lot of people. I would have to say Dayton.
You're a US compatriot.
Yeah, Dayton, Risenheim, yeah.
Wow. Any particular duels that are memorable? Many.
Dayton was one of those guys that it's just one of those. It was Dayton, one of those people I fear as an athlete, not because of his talent. I fear of him because I knew if he was healthy, he would bring his A game, and and if you don't have your A game that day, you're in trouble.
Wow. And he recently put a wrap on his career, right?
Yes.
Yeah, what a great career it was. Abdi, is there a mantra you use when you race? Is there some regular self-talk, something you repeat?
Yeah, just something I say. Everybody's going through the same thing you're going through, especially to the later stage of the marathon. I just tell, I know I'm hurting, things are not going well, but I just tell, you know what, he's going through the same thing. He might just not showing like you're not just showing. So just no one's made out of plastic.
No one's made out of plastic. Best recovery tip, Abdi?
Best rest.
Rest. Sleep. Yeah.
Rest and sleep. Yep.
Keep it simple. One word to describe your racing style, Abdi. One word.
One word. Me. Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. AKA the US trials. Predictable in your head, but for many people it was unpredictable. Abdi, how would you describe being in the zone?
Beast.
When was the last time you were in the zone? The trials?
Trials.
And final question in the performance round, Abdi. What's the hardest session you can recall doing?
10-mile tempo run. On
the flat or with hills?
It was on the outside of the track.
10 miles, just looping around?
Yep.
Wow.
350.
Mile pace?
No. 450, 448 mile pace.
Yeah, okay.
9,000.
Yeah, wow. Was this in the lead up to the 2020 trials?
Yep.
Gosh, with the crew?
With the crew, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I was the last guy standing.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
War of attrition.
Yeah.
Abdi, you're out of the performance round. Well done. This is a question we ask each and every week of the guests. But if you could boil everything you've learned through your career, extensive career to date, into one piece of advice to help the listener of this show perform at their physical best, what would that one piece of advice be, Abdi? Single piece of advice.
Single piece of advice. Oh, think about the long term, not the short term. Think about long term instead of the short term for me. Yeah. Because for me, like, to be honest, like, and I say that, I know it's kind of like a different kind of, but I'm going to explain it to you because, like, for me, I have the opportunity to run so many races at one point of my career, but I wasn't in it. For me, I was having this vision of having longevity of career. So I wasn't in it just to make a buck, like, right away. It wasn't for me. Just grab what I can this next couple of years. For me, was I want to enjoy it and at the same time be in it in the long term.
Yeah. So taking that long-term view rather than a quick grab.
Yeah.
Do you think people underestimate what they're capable of over the long term?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. People don't even sometimes, like, I wish some people could just sit down and have a plan what they want to do, you know, and instead of just chasing what they can get like every couple months or a couple of weeks, you know, running 3 or 4 marathons a year, it's not easy on your body. It doesn't matter who you are. Maybe only a few people can do that, but not everybody can run like 1 or 2 marathons a year and have a great career and longevity.
Yeah.
It's better than 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, and it's not done yet, Abdi. Every guest of the show issues the listener with a physical challenge for the week. So what is Abdi's physical challenge for the week going to be? It can be anything, entry level or extremely difficult.
Physical challenge, overrun or?
You choose, yeah.
Just try and do something that you have a hard time doing. It's something that you love to do, but just like I don't know, some say, okay, some habit you have. If you have a habit and you say, oh, I can do this, just challenge yourself. Say, okay, 7 days, I'm not going to do that. If you drink wine, if you drink beer, I don't know, if you eat a lot of red meat, say, okay, I'm gonna stop eating red meat this weekend for 7 days. And after 7 days, you know, just like to cut a habit, you know, just something that's not good for you too much of it, like drinking a lot, you know, just
work on the habit.
Yeah, just a habit. Yeah, just make sure you can control your habit. Like, see if you can stop it for 7 days, or just do like if you're a recreational runner, but you cannot keep consistency of like running every day. Say, okay, I'm gonna run every day. Doesn't matter what the distance is. I can go for a 5-minute run and then come back home. At least I went out the door. Just challenge yourself to do every day.
Yeah, something daily. I did read that post your Olympic trial success, you were looking forward to going home and enjoying a camel for a celebration, right?
Exactly, man. I was, but it never happened because the camel, I wasn't going to get it here. But my goal is to go back to Saluta for a few weeks and celebrate with the boys. And also, it was just going to happen in Saluta, but too bad we can't go back for a while now.
Hopefully soon. And Abdi, a listener question has come through about your strength and conditioning. I know that's a key part of your routine. What does it look like for you?
My strength, I train 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah, just a lot of core, a lot of upper body, you know, hamstring, squats, calf, back, lower back, you know, all the running part.
Yeah. In the gym or at home? Or both?
In the gym. Like, I haven't been in the gym for now a few weeks, like almost few months since the trials. I haven't been there, but I've been doing it at home, just like easy one. And it's kind of hard to get motivated. Place everybody should understand this. Yeah. You know what? Even professional athletes cannot focus now, so it's not your fault. Don't feel bad if you have a lack of motivation.
Yeah, it's powerful. Don't feel bad if you have a lack of motivation through this season. And finally, Abdi, you used the word passion at the start. You said you realized you had a passion for it. Where does that passion come from for you? It must come from a deep place to still be driving you.
Yeah, I want to succeed. And the failure is not an option for me. It's just like everything that I do. And at the end of the day, and I say that because some people, they say, oh, failure is not an option for you, but you have lost so many races. I know I have lost so many races, but even though I lost those races, this was not a failure for me. You know, I succeeded because I was starting lineup and I competed some great athletes and the people who are better than me beat me that day. And that's not an excuse you should make as an athlete. If someone ahead of you beat you that day, give them their dues, give them their respect. Don't make an excuse. Don't say I wasn't prepared, I wasn't this, I was out of shape. No, that's unacceptable. So for me, every time I got beaten to start lineup, I was 100% healthy and ready to compete, but someone was better than me that day. So, and that's why just for me. Yeah.
Abdi, Abdirahman, Cactus, as everyone affectionately knows you. Thank you for your contribution to this show, but also the greater sporting community, particularly with what you're, exempling as a successful career over time. Congratulations and thanks.
Well, thank you, man. Thanks for having me, man. It's been a great show, and looking forward to seeing you in Addis, man. Hopefully we go see Highness together this time.
Yeah, that was a quick introduction, that's for sure. Okay, there's hiatus. Thank you, Abdi.
Okay, man.
So there you have it, another episode of the Physical Performance Show, and I trust and I know you enjoyed that rare insight into the life of one of running's true stars. What a remarkable career. The chapters are still being written, and as you heard, there's still a lot in store for Abdi Abdirahman. Be sure to jump over and follow Abdi on social media. You'll find Abdi over on Instagram at Abdi Runs, ABDIRUNS. I hope you were inspired, as I have been through Abdi's career, and it really does lift the lid on the often self-imposed barriers that we have as we mature as athletes. If you are looking for more on the science around maintaining top performance across the lifespan, then I recommend jumping back, if you are yet to do so, to Expert Edition featuring Professor Peter Rayburn on episode 215, where Professor Peter outlined some great learnings around maximising the health and performance of the Masters athlete. And excitingly, if you are looking to learn more about how to maximize Masters athlete performance and health, then I've teamed up recently with Benoit Matthew, former featured Expert Edition of the show, to host what will be the first online Masters Athlete Symposium. This one-day online symposium is free of charge. It is going to be held on the 8th of August 2020 and will feature leading experts around all things Masters athletes. There'll be Professor Peter Rayburn, former guest of the show, strength and conditioning expert Richard Blagrove, and many more joining the team to deliver what will be some great learn-ins. To reserve your free seat today, simply jump over to mastersathletes.online to register. Of course, one of the other great upcoming events is the Dr. Stephen Seiler Sustainable Training for Attainable Endurance Goals live stream, fast approaching on the 18th of July. To secure your ticket to this 3-hour live stream event with Dr. Seiler, including PDF workbook, post-event recording, and live Q&A time with Dr. Seiler himself, forefather of polarized training, acclaimed sports scientist, and now very popular and viral TED Talk speaker, jump over to pogophysio.com.au/Dr. Seiler live stream. Tickets are just $49. Sorry, Daz. Now, my top 3 learnings from Abdi's share-ins are: number 1, there is no such thing as a quick fix. Nothing happens overnight. With our training, we need to take that longer-term view, not just the month ahead, but the months ahead, the years ahead. Number 2, when tapering, the last week cannot make you fitter, but you can detract from what would be your best on the start line by overdoing it. Number 3, keep it simple and keep it fun. Abdi is a real character, as you likely detected through Abdi's share-ins. He's relaxed, he's calm, and what a long and successful career Abdi has had and will continue to have. There's so much we can learn from such a great approach. A massive thanks to those who made today's show possible. Our sponsor for today's episode, Run to PB, leading choice for runners who wish to improve their running with a personalised and structured training program under the guidance, as you heard, of an expert team. Be sure to take advantage of Run to PB's offer to Physical Performance Show listeners, 10% off any running program by visiting runtopb.com. RUN2PB.co. Thanks as always to the great folk who make this show possible: Daryl Misson, our audio engineer, Susan Wilkin on all things show administration, and Matthew Walding on all things show graphic design. Keep the podsies coming. They are a whole lot of fun. Simply a screenshot of the episode you're enjoying and tag it in the show on social at Physical Performance Show. Be sure to hit subscribe if you are enjoying the show and you're yet to ensure it lands into your earbuds each and every week via subscription. It's free, of course. And thank you for those leaving ratings and reviews on iTunes. Now, coming up on next week's episode of the Physical Performance Show, we jump over on the Expert Edition track, and I'll share with you a conversation that I recently had with world-renowned researcher and physiotherapist on all things tendon rehabilitation, Dr. Ebony Rio. Now, our prior tendon rehabilitation episodes featuring Dr. Peter Maliaris have been very popular, and I was eager to have Dr. Ebony Rio share her incredible wealth of knowledge in a 2020 tendinopathy rehabilitation update. If you've ever been bothered by a niggly Achilles tendon, proximal hamstring tendon, gluteal tendon on the side of your hip, or patella tendon, as a runner, you know how pesky these injuries can be. Dr. Ebony Rio is regarded as one of the best and brightest. She's a great teacher and a real personality, so be sure to be tuning in next week with a pen and paper to the Physical Performance Show. Until then, keep pursuing your physical best performance. I'm Brad Beer, and this has been the Physical Performance Show.